Hey, what's up, guys? It's your girl Wolfy. I thought to share a little story time about my childhood. So, when I was born in May 9th, 1997, um, let's say, let's say over, let's say that my childhood life was just a normal childhood where I grew up with my two brothers, my parents, and I'm just the only girl in the family. I'm the youngest in the family, so yeah, I'm like the baby in the family. So, anyways, ever since I've been with my family, it has been a normal life. But the one thing I did lack of having was a childhood friend. So it all started when I went to school. I was like the most loneliest kid you can ever imagine. I never had any friends. I never planned to have any friends because I guess I was a really shy kid and didn't know how to make friends. And another thing that really hurt me the most is that I never had like a childhood friend that I grew up with, either it's like a neighbor's kid or not. I basically knew that like my brothers would make a lot of friends because they were older than me and I was like younger than everyone else. And so it kind of sucked to be the baby of the family because then you're like the last one to make any friends and stuff. So I remember going to school feeling like a lonely kid. I did have a lot of classmates and stuff, but I don't really call them my class friends. I mean, it just sounds weird. So I would say classmates because they're just kids I am in class with, and I'm not very close with them. Like I don't see them as friends or anything. I just see them as just classmates to be with when I have to do a project or something. Um, so I went to elementary school, didn't make any friends. I had to deal with like a lot of bullying because I was like an overweight kid that just like got bullied because of having because I had like a blood sugar problem where when I eat something my body does way too well of absorbing shit and it makes me get a lot of weight gained in. So I was an overweight child back then and I got bullied for it and I remember it still hurt, like it hurt me a lot, but then over time I just like got over it because like a lot of kids back then are very immature and like to tease other little kids just because they probably have a troubled life or they just like to take it out on people for no reason. So after being bullied a lot and like, you know, I also had to deal with like a lot of difficulty in real life. I grew up being diagnosed with the learning disability of math and reading, where I can't do some math very well and I can't do some reading very well because that's how I am. Like I have a disability of both of those, and it makes my learning experiences kind of hard. But depending on the class I'm in, I do pretty well. Um, so in school, I've been normally as a quiet kid. Like I always pay attention to teacher, do the assignment, and just do my own work. And if someone was trying to talk to me, I would just ignore them completely. And yeah, I had to deal with more bullying back in elementary when I was like, I think we were doing some kind of PE thing. I think it was like walking around the blacktop slash recess field or something. And I had to deal with like being bullied by two girls that kept saying that my outfit wasn't good and they want to see me in a dress or something with a skirt. And I stupidly said, fine, I'll do it. But I didn't tell my mom that I was actually being picked on because of what I wore and what I look like and shit. Like, I was so gullible that I realized I was being picked on slash bullied because of my clothing and all that. But I did pay attention to being bullied because of by my weight and shit. But yeah, so after dealing with that with so much, finally, the two girls finally said that they would leave me alone forever if I did something, and I said, okay, fine. And so after that, they never bothered me again with the whole outfit thing, and and after I had to deal with like even more bullying. Like I was in a classroom, and I had to deal with like I think I was doing some kind of project. I think it was back in elementary. I had to deal with some guy that kept bullying me for no reason, like saying something about me, and luckily someone in the classroom noticed this, and she like stood up for me and said like, dude, she can't do the project with you if you keep bullying her like that or picking on her. And I praise to that girl. Like I give praise to her for standing up for me and telling him to fuck off if he kept doing this. And like she did like yell at him. I think she said something about the project or something like she can't focus or she's trying to do her work and you can't she can't focus if you pick on her or whatever she said something. I know she said something like that, but said like if you pick on like you shouldn't pick on her or stop picking on her or something or whatever. And like, yeah, I mean, it would have been better if she went up to the teacher and like whispered to her about what's going on. And I literally was like holding back my tears because he was really hurtful of what he said and stuff, and I just didn't like being picked on him. And then later on, he picked on me again, and the two girls I mentioned before started picking on me, and it was just like endless bullying everywhere. And luckily, I was not like an emo kid that wants to kill herself. I just I just like rolled it off my shoulders, like just ignored it as much as I could. And then after that, that's why I said I never had like a childhood friend for years in real life to stand up for me or be there for me, because I never was. And I think I remember, excuse me, and I think I remember one time I stupidly said that I didn't like a certain person when those two girls I mentioned before would ask me like who else, like what do you think of this girl or whatever. And I don't know her fully or closely, that person. I just said like, oh, I don't like them. And you know what they did? They stupidly went up to that same person I said I didn't like and said that I didn't like them, and that she walked away. And I was like, "Are you serious? Why would you tell someone that if I don't like someone? Why would you tell it to that same person? Like you're the ones that asked me who I like or what do I think of a person. And I gave you an opinion. You can't just like spread it to people and tell them, make them look like I'm the bad guy. Maybe don't ask me that dumb question, and then I wouldn't say anything." But whatever. I was a dumbass kid anyway. So yeah, I done a lot. I had to deal with bullying back in elementary. Um, as I said, I was a lonely kid. I didn't have any friends. Uh, and I think in middle school it was the same thing. I didn't have any friends either. I may have made like a couple, but that kind of fell through because eh, I wasn't really close to that girl anyway. It was another random girl I made friends with, and we were pretty close until later on. I just kind of gave up being friends with her because it didn't feel right. I felt kind of uncomfortable around her. And then later on in middle school, that's when I made two different friends. Like one in middle school where I met her in a speech place. It was like a speech thing we always go to when it's about correcting our lisps or something, like lisps some people have. They would go to a speech play or speech teacher that would help them like work that out and stuff. So I met that person. I'll just say ex-friend one was the one I met in middle school, and then later on in high school during orientation I met ex-friend two, where she became my best friend along with the other ex-friend. And we were friends for a while, but then it didn't really feel like a childhood friend moment either because, well, we pretty much like, grew up sort of in our early teenager days, and I never had like an actual childhood friend where it's like, when you're an actual child and you grew up with that one person that you really cared and loved like dearly to them like a family, and they would like stick by you ever since like teenager age or whatever to college days. But no. So yeah, so as you can tell, my life went from really depressing to even more depressing when those two friends I mentioned left me after weird ass long ass text about breaking up the friendship and shit because of them saying it's toxic and all that, and they never told me what I did wrong. Um, yeah, so after that, I never experienced what it's like to have a childhood friend or anything, and I had no idea that like through my childhood it's gotten really depressing. Where I had to deal with like not just that, but like parents divorcing and alcoholism and a lot of really bad stuff that happened at home where it's just like I really had a miserable life, and it just wasn't, you know, and this is pretty much a sad story where it's like I never knew what it's like to have a friend to grow up with, and I've been a lonely kid all my life, and I still am, but like now I have like a new generation of new friends and old friends that I'm talking to online, but just saying I never did experience what it's like to have a friend in real life that stuck by you since you were a kid, and yeah. So I don't count my ex-friends as that because they are the ones that broke their friendship with me. I didn't, and they never told me why, so that's on them. Anyways, glad I can share this with you. I know it's kind of depressing, but I thought to share it with you because why not? I was going through depression like earlier today, but I'm okay now. Just like back then, I've had a lot in my head and didn't feel like getting out of bed. Like I literally was in bed, like wanted to get out of bed and wake up, but I was like too comfy inside my bed. I was like, maybe a few more minutes or another hour. So yeah. Anyways, um, yeah. Sorry for such a weird ass video. I thought to share this because it's just to show you how much I've changed over the years and how miserable my life was. So glad I can share it with you. I know you probably would not care about it, but it's best that you show your caring heart that you do and stuff. And I had to deal with like, and also I know a lot of people out there just like a bunch of trolls like to show up on my video and be like, "Hi, go eat, no, go touch grass, blah blah," and I'm sitting there like, "Look who's talking." Like if you, like I just love how people just want to troll on me, thinking I'm gonna get affected by it. Nah, son. Like if you wanted me to touch grass, I think you should do the same. Like you're the one that's trolling me, so yeah. I just find it funny that people like to act immature like that. So don't worry, I'm fine. If people want to be dicks about it, then I just know what to do. I just block them. That's all I do. Like if haters want to hate on me, then I will block them because that's the most mature way of taking action than just like talking to them, because talking to them is useless. It just doesn't really speak louder than, I feel like actions speak louder than words anyway. So yeah, if you deal with haters in your life, always block them on social media and they can't bother you anymore. So yeah. Anyway, anyways, yeah, thank you for listening. Um, Glad I could share a little bit of about my life and how it was back when I was a child. Sorry I keep repeating certain words. That's just how I am when I talk about stuff. Like, again, yeah. And I guess I should also mention, I forgot to add that, like, my first ever online childhood friend, I should say, was Sharky. He's the one I met back in 2015 or 14, I think. I think it's like 15 mostly. And yeah, 11 years later, we're still together as friends, and I'm glad we're still having adulthood together, where we're just like both just dumb adults, like thinking of adult jokes and being dirty minded and having a good time playing games together, and yeah, talking about our lives and shit. So yay, besties. Okay. Friends for the win. Alright, so yeah, sorry I didn't add that, but glad I could add it at the end there. Anyways, thank you for listening. I hope that you all have a good day. Hope you take it easy out there and yeah, live your life the fullest. And I just want to say that I love and appreciate you all very much. And I do wish the best of luck of your life. And yeah, so hope you have a good day, night, evening, whatever time it is for you. And I'll see you in the next video when I make a new one. So yeah, later.